all, good afternoon, everyone. I would like to thank the Department of State for inviting us to participate in this Education USA Forum. It is a great honor for me to be here representing Brazil and my institution, the Federal Agency for Support and Evaluation of Graduate Education, CAPES, a national foundation linked to the Ministry of Education. I am also pleased to be here with my colleagues from the National Council for Scientific and Technological Development, CNPq, several Brazilian universities, and the Embassy of Brazil. I would like to ask my colleague Bahal to just stand up so you can say hello to the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, Brazil is changing. As a developing nation, we are growing at robust rates, average of 4% throughout the past decades. We are reducing inequalities, all without sacrificing our macroeconomic stability. After the lost decades of the 80s and the deep economic adjustments of the 90s, the country in the last 10 years has resumed sustainable growth. This has been achieved through a combination of fiscal and monetary measures with social policies designed to eliminate hunger and alleviate poverty. In addition, our democratic institutions are solid and stable. As a result, Brazil was able to lift out of poverty millions of people who have helped to bolster the economy by joining the workforce. In complex societies as ours, however, new challenges are due to appear in the long run, in the long road towards development. To cope with them, we will require innovative and creative solutions, and education plays a major role in this process. In line with the country's development objectives, the Brazilian government has approved an action plan to invest in expanding study abroad scholarship at the higher education level. We have a target to increase up to 75,000 scholarships by 2014. 4,000 of scholarships will be managed by CAPES and 35,000 will be managed by CNPq. Another 25,000 scholarships are to be supported through private sector partnerships. Most of the scholarships will cover areas with an important technological impact, such as engineering, hard science, and earth sciences, mathematics, energy, sustainable development, environment, biotechnology, and health. But areas will be open depending on availability and demand. This action plan will enable approximately 75,000 young Brazilian professionals to train their skills in high-level science production and development, while boosting bilateral and other international partnerships in the fields of higher education. It is our expectation that their subsequent absorption in our institution and in the private sector will significantly build capacity for collaboration in science, technology, and innovation. Yet, this endeavor cannot be achieved alone. It requires increased international collaborative efforts. We would like for up to half of these Brazilian students, about 37,000, to come to the United States for their studies and research under a broad spectrum of short and long-term academic and research opportunities at all levels. Briefly, these include undergraduate sandwich grants with pre-academic, academic, and internship components. I must say that this term sandwich grants is really Brazilian. I don't understand that, but we can explain that later to you.
Study abroad. Study abroad.
Study abroad. Graduate sandwich grants study abroad with priority to candidates already accepted into programs abroad and fluent in English. Graduate PhD programs with priorities in the sciences. Postdoc for candidates with PhDs who have been accepted at an institution abroad. Senior researchers for joint U.S.-Brazilian research projects, special visiting scholars and professors for international scientific leadership scientists who can come to Brazil for periods and bring research staff TAs to interact with our Brazilian scientists and students. We will be building on the serious investment in education which we have already been making. Only CAPES is currently providing over 100,000 scholarships for Brazilian undergraduates and graduate students to study in Brazilian universities. and around 5,000 scholarships for Brazilian students to study abroad in more than 50 countries. CNPq is also currently providing scholarship for studies in Brazil and abroad. Now that this effort to train Brazilian abroad will be significantly expanded, we believe that Brazil and the United States have a common interest in this regard and can and should work together. Therefore, we are here today to ask you to join us in our effort to accomplish this goal. Of course, this invitation reflects the excellence and variety of American universities and higher education systems. It also reflects and reaffirms the strong ties our academic community has built working together on issues of shared importance like agriculture and food security, alternative energy, environment, and public health. It also highlights the existing mutual respect and friendship between our two nations, very well demonstrated by the recent visit of President Barack Obama to Brazil. Ladies and gentlemen, during these 3 days, I will be here together with representatives of the best Brazilian universities to talk about how we can cooperate in sending more Brazilian students to the United States and to answer your questions. We will be speaking at the next session on foreign government scholarship, and we will be available at the Brazil table during the Global Showcase and for individual or group meeting during network, breaks, lunch, and other times during the next 3 days. We are pleased to share with you this special moment of our country in the hope that we can establish new and strong collaborative partnership with you in the future. I would like very much to ask my colleagues from Brazil to stand up so they can just identify you all. And we have here representatives from universities from the north, south, northeast, southeast, and they are provosts, deans of research, and international officers. So we are here just to gather with you and talk and exchange our many possibilities from both sides. Thank you very much. And also I would like to point out that the Embassy of Brazil here in Washington will be working together with CAPES and CNPq in this effort to increase the numbers of Brazilian students here in the USA, and we'll be more than happy to provide you in the future with additional information about this in this respect. So I would like just again to say thank you. This is a wonderful opportunity for us. I was very well impressed with this morning with the speech of my colleague, and I must say, I know this town. Oh, he's there. I know this town, and actually I was born in a place very near this town. Although my life history is a little bit different, I must say that my first trip abroad was to the United States when I was 16 years old. I won't tell them when, because this is too much. But I had the opportunity to stay for 6 months with an American family in one of those exchange students programs. And I must say that it also changed my life. It had a very different, how can I say, turn after I went back to Brazil. And maybe this is why I'm here in front of you today talking to just such a special audience. So thank you very much.